Did I tell you that you can actually request a call with this particular HR so she could professionally prepare you for an interview? And she could also take a look at your resume and tell you why exactly are you not getting any calls. If you are interested in doing so, I'm going to leave a link right below this video. It's going to be next to the like button that you're about to hit. Hey everyone! Good to see you guys. And cool, let's kick it off quickly. So Alina is our HR manager and Mike is our QA. You're working as a QA automation engineer, right? Or QA engineer?
The position is called automation developer.
Automation developer, whoa, that's tough. So you're pretty much an awesome. All right, well, do you just want to introduce yourself? Alina, you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name is Alina. I work for the US market for 3 years and a half as a IT recruiter. Well, I work for different sectors, but primarily the niche recruiter in IT. I've met many candidates. Recently, I've started career coaching as part of my work responsibility. So I'll be happy to have this session with you guys today.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you. You're currently working as an HR, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Amazing. Mike, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. My name is Mike. I'm working as an automation developer at the Spectrum, one of the biggest companies in the IT field. And my background, I had a lot of failed interviews, and I got one that I got enough experience to pass, and I will be happy to present today. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Mike, our ex-student or ex-graduate from Codify QA Bootcamp that you can see right here. Awesome. All right, so this is going to be an HR interview. Alina's going to rock Mike with the questions, and I'll be here from them. By the way, I'll introduce myself. My name is Sergey Kromchenko. I am a founder of Codify Bootcamp. I help people to become a QA engineers, QA automation developers, as we can see now, from scratch or to improve your existing skills. Cool. And today I'll be reviewing, pretty much adding my extra comments as an engineering manager. But this is going to be behavioral interview with the HR and with the QA automation developer. Awesome, Alina, all yours. You take care of it and kick it off.
Thank you. Pretty excited to start. So, Michael, I believe we will start as all the interviews pretty much start with the self-presentation. So my very first question would be, tell me about yourself.
Sure, yeah. That was expected, yeah. My name is Mikhail. I got 3 years, I think it's a little bit more already. It's about 4 years of experience as a QA, and I've been working as a manual, and at the same time, I've been working as an automation developer. So at my current job, I am leading the voice project, and pretty much I'm responsible for all the automation that created for the product. In my past background, I've been working also with mobile part. I've got Healthbird as my previous job, and I've been also like a test engineer at this position.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to have a little bit more detailed presentation from your side. What were the projects you worked on? What are the companies? Maybe some little description about the companies, their manpower, the teams you collaborated with, because right now it's a little bit of the presentation that I can read from your LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
And it doesn't give me the detailed overview, something that goes beyond your resume. I want to hear that. Okay. If you could go more deeper in the details, it would be great. Let's start.
Yeah. Let's start then with my current position. So a little bit more details about it. I'm leading a couple projects over here, and one of the projects is called Voice, which is a home phone of the Spectrum part. And we are currently working on consolidation of this portal. So basically, it's a redesign, and we are implementing new features. I'm working pretty close with developers and design team at this moment. Let's say we got the kind of interesting task right now. We are trying to get the E2E framework ready at the same time as a product, which is it's a pretty new experience for this company. Usually, they've done a different way. Usually, they first release the product and then automation should be done after it. That's kind of it.
Okay. And regarding your previous experience, what?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The previous experience, I've been working for for healthcare. We started over there pretty much. I started over there before the product was released to the customer, and we've been working mostly on the mobile testing. Since the product was not quite ready, and there was still a lot of changes, we did not create like some kind of robust automation framework. That was pretty much just a sanity, and but that was kind of fun because you can see how you can build your product basically just from the scratch.
Well, the second presentation was much better because you kind of walked me through your experience. You showed me what the companies were doing, and it's very important for you to share some details that I might not just find on web, or maybe I didn't have time to find on web. So I might just go search some companies before the interview. If I'm a hiring manager, most probably I will do that during the job interview because I have probably many applicants. So if you can present some details that I wouldn't have to search myself, that's already a very good start. You are like making my job easier. It's already a good thing to start with. Second of all, you could also share like what progress you've made within the company together with the company, like what you could oversee, like the beginning of the project and how it was developing. But it feels still like it's kind of a summarizing of your experience, and you're not trying to sell it to me. I haven't still heard what was your contribution, like major contribution, what metrics, like what achievements you've brought to the company. You know what I mean? Maybe something that's some data probably that you could share with me.
Let's see. Let's see what we have. So, the first thing that comes to my mind is when I was hired to this company. The automation framework was already created, but it hasn't been maintained like for a long time. We had pretty much like a 90% of the failures, and we had at that time we had like about I don't know like probably 500 test cases across all the platforms. So I bring this number up to 10% failures, and that was acceptable at the moment. We had a different preferences. But on the other hand, with this company, at the same time, like with the E2E framework, we're also working on analytics data, and we usually trying to kind of collaborate analytics and the E2E, which is a most high priority at this moment over here. And we also brought this number up probably from the same, like from the 90% failures to 90% success, which is, I think is going to be the great contribution to the company since those tests are running nightly. And as a QA automation developer, I should check them every morning in case if we have some kind of failures. We can report them before they can get to the next stages.
Okay, sounds good. That's pretty much what I kind of was expecting to hear, but it's it's kind of interesting how you always use the word we do this, we have to do this, we were doing, and not really like a personal experience, like personal contribution that you made. Maybe you could think of something like that and give me at least one example of what you personally believe would be your personal metrics in the company or your personal contribution that you could oversee and share with me.
That was actually, I did this on my own, but I just feel like we are working I'm working like in a team, and even if I did it myself, I did get some help like from different persons, such as like my manager or like developers. But yeah, if you are talking about the contribution, I've done all these changes on my own, and I think I'll have to say it clearly that it's.
That's actually a good point. You're a team member. Yeah, that's a good point. You're a team member and you want to share that you were working together with your team. So you can even say, like, together with my team, I did this or that. And that already will psychologically work for me. Like, it was your contribution, but you made it together with your teammates, and you are a good team player. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. And it was nice to hear about your previous experience and to dig deeper into details. What would you consider as your strengths, if you could share with me?
I can work a lot. If it's if you have such a request, but I would say I'd like to get things done. That's my biggest strength, and what I mean by that, it's I don't like to keep like some kind of task for a long time. I think that's also which is my manager like in me at this point. What else? I think I can kind of stop over here.
Well, normally we tend to ask candidates for at least 3 strengths. Like this, we can see from different perspectives. If you could share at least one more.
Okay, let me see. From the different perspective, I'll say that it's such an easy question, but sometimes it's getting it's harder to answer this one. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
I would actually rival the previous answer, and I would just say that you are a strong team player because you already specified that in the past. I think that should also be strength.
And you have already justified it with the facts from your past experience.
Yeah, that was actually on my mind, but I was just planning how to say it.
Yeah, I see. Well, normally, if you say I work, like I can work a lot or I tend to work too much, there is a question that is raised in my mind, like, does he have time to rest? Won't he be burnt out in a couple of months? Or maybe does he know how to combine work-life balance, how to prioritize tasks? So maybe it's better not to say that you are working a lot or you're overworker, but probably specify something that we like to recommend to our clients or to our candidates to talk about their soft skills, because technical skills, hard skills, is something that you can gain pretty quickly. You can go take some courses, you can take a mentor and develop them rather quickly, much quicker than soft skills. And soft skills is something that makes you unique. So like this, if you talk about your strengths, you can discuss some personality traits that you have. For example, your natural curiosity, and you like to dig deep into some things. You like to discover new things, and this helps you come to the solution of some problem with different, points of view. For example, you have some problem to solve. You gather all the information you have, and that natural curiosity actually helps you do that all. And then you take some time to analyze all these ways to solve the problem, and you come up with the most relevant one, with the most relevant solution, which also shows you analytical skills. So maybe something that shows your uniqueness, and probably you would also like to add some, if you can think of ways of developing those skills, like how you develop or how you continuously, enhance those skills. Maybe you can think of something like.
Yeah, sure. I'm just thinking that I think the pretty good example is going to be the approach to problems, and I'd like to work my way to solve the problem from the problem. So basically, during the work, you have a lot of challenges. You have to work with a new software, for example, and you have to work with the different platforms. You have to do some kind of a mix of this a software and your previous background. And the way I do this, I just like to get the problem first, and then slowly work my way to solve it step by step.
Okay. What would you then consider your weaknesses? What are the weaknesses that you have?
I love those questions, honestly. I hadn't practiced them for a long time. But yeah, so the weaknesses, I always wanted to answer this question that I have no weaknesses at work.
Just jumping ahead. Yeah.
But so if we are about the weaknesses, probably I think you already noticed it, that weaknesses is going to be some challenges with work-life balance, I would say. But it's not consistently. It's more because we have a slower time during the work, and we have a busiest time. And for example, when you get into this way, when you're kind of busy at work, and you just keep going this way. But yeah, it's just
And what's your approach to solving this problem? How do you work on this weakness?
I would say that I'm just it's hard to work. It's hard to work on this weakness because I like my work and I like what I do, and I'm just I can be at home, I can write some code, and I can watch some kind of movies, and I'm totally fine that I'm not getting tired. I would say probably just to force myself to put the laptop on the side and do I don't know, some kind of sport or anything else that would do it. But yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, again, there is a question that pops up in my mind, when he rest, does he have a problem with time management? Does he know how to prioritize tasks? All of these are some unconscious bias that I have, in my head, probably. I might be considering, in a couple of months, he can get burnt out, and I'm gonna lose the employee who has a potential. When we talk about strengths, it's always good to highlight your soft skills because it shows your uniqueness. And it's really hard to find someone who would, possess all those well-developed soft skills rather than, and teach them technical part rather than take someone who has amazing technical background, but is hard to communicate and is not really an eager team player. So when we talk about weaknesses, it's best to show the technical skills that you lack. For example, something that is not core for your profession, something that is not core in your field, but would be a great asset, or is is important to have, but not core. And show how you develop already, how you work on this weakness, how you develop this skill. Okay, because in this case, this is not something that is really hard to develop or takes some time, it is time consuming, but something that you noticed recently that you you lack some technical skills, and you are now developing them by watching YouTube videos, or maybe taking some courses, or working with mentor, or maybe you came to your manager and asked to work on that. So something that would not be that crucial for me, you know?
Yeah, I see what I mean. It was actually a good point that to say, like, if you're talking about the strengths, it's going to be the soft skills, and if it's going to be the weaknesses, it's going to be more like a technical skills. Yeah. So then let's go ahead one more time about the weaknesses. I would say so we probably mostly is going to be like about the mobile part of the testing, because it's like it's getting like beginning more and more testing on this part, and it was quite a challenge in the beginning, because I didn't have like a lot of experience to creating that automation framework for mobile devices. Specifically, I would say that the biggest challenge was to understand to understand that, to learn the difference, to create it for iOS and Android, because we have to utilize the different tools, and I think I had a little lack of experience on that part, but it was not hard to gain it at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you manage to develop that skill, or you're working on that right now?
I'm always working on my skills. It's it's never enough to develop it. But the company, my company, they did a great job in the past. They created this kind of like a spreadsheet where you can gather information regarding like all the different features the company is working on, especially like there is a specific topic for E2E developers, which is super helpful. People who, especially for the new people who just got hired, can can double check what's going on in the follow the company protocols.
No, that's actually very cool that they cared so much, and they developed this whole field for learning for new employees. And you mentioned that you always work on your skills. Can I ask you how exactly you develop your skills? How do you tend to stay up to date with the trends in your field? How do you follow the updates?
I think the first thing, pretty much, I think everyone who's working like in the IT field and working on specific product, especially for external use, has to keep the app updated. And if you even if you don't want to work on your skill, you have to just to keep this app alive.
Okay. Well, I was actually meaning, how do you yourself follow the trends in the industry? How you stay up to date with the news, and how do you develop, like in general? Do you take some courses? Do you attend some seminars or webinars within your field to stay up to date?
Mostly it's a networking on my side, because we've got like I think we've got like more than 5,000 employees across the United States, and I think half of these employees located in Denver at our office. So it's just a huge amount of people who can share the knowledge with you, and the people who where you can share your knowledge as well. I think that at this point, that's the best one. Also, the last, I think like for the last couple of months, I'm using the Sauce Lab, and that is also like all the updates that you need, and they implementing new features like pretty much constantly.
Okay. And those people you mentioned, you said 5,000, right?
Yeah.
Those are the people whom you worked with, whom you've connected with within the company. How did you build that strong network?
I mean, that's the people who's working in the company, and most of the times, the people just from your team is not enough to solve some kind of problems, and you have to reach out to different teams, to different managers, and yeah, that's kind of how the work is done over here.
And do you build network outside of the company?
You mean like a technical network, right?
Well, your professional network can consist also of non-tech people, non-tech professionals. So I'm just curious if you have if you are connecting with people online or offline, maybe some conferences, maybe some tech events that you attend to network with people, just out of curiosity.
Yes, we are. I would say like the last year of my life was pretty busy, and but we actually planning to visit the QA conference here in Denver. I think it's planned for the end of the May, and I think that's gonna be the first one since I got hired.
Okay, I see.
I'll add up something. Yeah, wanted to add to Michael, everyone else who's gonna be watching this video, that whenever you guys give an answer, think that all the words that you're saying will be used to get the follow-up questions. So whenever you say your strength or weakness is regarding the networking or learning new things, you're gonna ask questions about learning new things. You're gonna get asked how and where do you learn new things, and usually would be the best to specify multiple sources, not only the network. It's good for everyone, but something like YouTube videos, different Udemy courses, conferences is the best, because that's where you get. I think Alina was trying to push towards that, because that's where you learn the latest technology majority of the times, because people will be presenting those to you. So try to specify multiple sources to answer this question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergey.
Did I tell you why it is so important for us that you hit that like button and subscribe buttons below? Well, because if you do so, our channel is going to become more popular. If our channel will become more popular, we will record even more useful and better quality videos like this one. So that's an algorithm. You hit that like button below and subscribe to our channel, and we'll record more videos like this one. Let's continue.
Yeah, actually, we had to move around a little bit and dig deeper into that question for me to learn that you are planning to visit a conference, which I was actually meaning to hear from the very beginning, but probably you were just a little bit nervous and forgot about that conference, or I don't know. That would be also great to mention that you are planning to do something and you are constantly doing this. This is the proof. I already have a plan of visiting the conference. And why we're also asking about network, if you are applying for a senior position, people also hire you for the network that you can bring. This is very important in the field. That's what we face a lot when hiring senior specialists. So that's also very good that you have a strong network. And yeah, very good. And also we had a couple of already moments when we talked about time management. So I would like to go ahead and ask, how do you manage your time? How do you prioritize your tasks?
So it is quite a challenge with this company, because except working 8 to 5, for example, just like a normal core hours, we also have deployments that can go like during the night or during the evening, and they usually start like at 10 p.m. The mountain time, and they can last like usually they last about like an hour or like 2 hours, but some of them can last like through the night. This part, we just rotating with my team who is gonna do this, or if you have volunteers as well, it's working pretty well. But on the other hand, to prioritize my task, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm working with my colleague right now, and we've created a list of things that we're supposed to do, and pretty much we created order to do them, because the product that we own is pretty huge, and even to maintain it by yourself, it's going to take a lot of time. We shared it together and we created a list, which is basically where you're spending first probably 2 hours of your day on the extremely necessary tasks, and you can spend the rest of the day for the projects that you're currently working on. I think that's worked pretty well for us, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you define those tasks that have to be done within the first 2 hours?
I think that's what I what I mean by that. It's like I said, as an automation developer, first you have to go over the data from the previous nightly run, and you have to identify if there is any defects in it, and then you have to report that. If it's not a defect, but there is some failures, you have to repair it first, so you can be you can prepare your framework for the next nightly run. So this is we can consider as the highest priority. And after it, we we also have like a current projects that we are working on. Usually, like we are working on two projects at the same time with different priorities. But the main priority we're getting from the QA manager.
Okay.
Based on the current load.
So basically, the most important tasks are the most urgent tasks, or the tasks that you have on a daily routine that you have to accomplish, like the first thing in the morning, and then move forwards with the other tasks.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So it's either one or the other one. So is it like
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Is it like, do you define the urgency of the tasks, or these are the daily routine tasks that you have to perform like first thing in the morning, and then you move forward to what's on the list? Second one.
Usually that's a daily routine, but this is the highest priority unless we have some kind of emergency.
Okay, I see. And if, for example, you are very you are very close to the deadline, and there are many tasks that have high importance, how do you tend to prioritize, and do you delegate in some cases?
Again, it depends on it really depends, because especially like with the new products, you're pretty much always busy by the end of the deadline, closer to the deadline. And we actually had the situation right now where we had to implement another feature 3 days before the actual release. It wasn't released to prod, but it was the first release of the feature. I think the best way to do that is to deprioritize some other feature, like some other tasks, and move forward the one that we think that going to be that should be like done right away.
Okay, I see. I see. Well, it's actually very good that you are mentioning the situation that is that has happened or is happening. It also shows from the perspective of your past experience that you already faced it and you dealt with it. But as you've mentioned, you work with the team very closely. Do you tend to delegate, or how do you share tasks between the team members?
Yes. So I delegate some of my work if I have higher priorities. But again, it's um, there's going to be like two options. We can delegate or we can postpone. Um, and usually, this decision makes by the QA manager. Um, but for example, like I said, like with the last project, my manager decided to get away all the other tasks from me, so I can concentrate only on this project because it was like the highest priority in the team, and we delegated to other QA in my team. So yeah, that worked quite well because I had the time to build a framework. We actually had the time to implement another feature. Like I said, like probably it was like 3 days before the release, and um, yeah, the ownership of the product was pretty glad with that.
Okay. Did you contribute to that decision of delegating? What was your opinion? Was it necessary to delegate, or would you postpone those tasks that were delegated to another QA?
Based on the priorities at that moment, I would delegate it.
Okay. Well, it was nice to hear that not only your manager made those decisions, but also you showed some decision making and maybe contributed to the decision altogether. Because I keep hearing we together, we, but
Okay.
I would also like to hear that you have, some of the something of the personal approach. Sorry, that you also contributed somehow to this decision and like your own opinion on this as well. And how did you delegate? What was the way that you delegated those tasks?
So about I just want to say that in the team that I'm working on right now, it's you are not allowed to just delegate on your own. So it's supposed to be like a Scrum manager or your own manager, but you can be like you can say that you want to delegate it, and you can bring some facts why and arguments why we are supposed to do that. But yes, at that time, the reason was because we had to implement, like I said, another feature, and working on the both tasks at the same time can lead us to fatal results.
I see. Well, in any case, you should not like say that you should not lie, first of all, and you should not say that it was purely your decision, but you can say that I recommended or I suggested that, or even simply my manager decided and I agree with this decision for this and this reason. It also shows shows the part that you were together in this opinion, you were together in this decision making. Yeah, and coming back to the question about decision making, about delegating, if you could just share a couple of words, how exactly you delegated to the other team member.
I mean, the first thing that we have to check how busy is this person right now, because like I have only one other QA on my team and delegate this this task, and then again I have to double check the priorities for the current tickets that we have. But like I said, at that time, my second task was also higher priority, and I had to check first. Like with my colleague on how if she's gonna handle it, and then
Sounds
then we
good. Sounds
request at the end to move it.
And were you the one to accept the outcome of the work that she's done? Were you the one to accept, to check on the completeness of this task, or was your manager?
No, I've been following. I've been following the work along with the process, and I helped to resolve some merge conflicts on these changes, and got some approval from the different team.
Okay. Well, this actually shows very good connection to your team, that you are a good team player, because you worried about the team member if she isn't that busy to overtake this task from you, and you've shared the details, and then you were checking regularly on the task and were helping if needed. That's a very good answer. As this is, I think we might be a little bit ahead of time, but I'd like to ask one more question, which is a behavioral question.
Okay.
Yeah, which is actually which is considered, officially the behavioral question. Could you please tell me about the time where you successfully completed the project, or successfully completed some task that brought results to the company?
I'm just trying to get all the situations and to choose the right one.
Yeah, what do you think? That's a really good one. That's probably one of my favorite questions, because it shows how much have you contributed during your previous projects, and how much value did you bring to the team? What is your position within the team?
Not only this, Sergey, but also it shows that you can measure the success that you brought. It's not about the exactly the numbers that you are sharing with us, but your ability to see your success, your contribution, to measure your work, to measure the expertise that you also have, shared with the team. It's really good to think about this question, and maybe have a couple of answers in mind. Because from my experience in Amazon, for example, they use behavioral questions a lot, and the one specific question can be rephrased and posed several times, and they expect different answers. So you should keep in mind several answers to this question. Yeah, would be
absolutely, especially with the latest AI tools to build the resume. I know that a lot of people are coming to me when they cannot find a job. They show me their resume, and they have, for every single company, they have a multiple achievement points in some metrics. Certain percentage of task cases automated, regression time decreased by this. And the follow-up question that I always have, the majority of the time, people are just not able to answer, because they created that resume with the AI, is how did you come up with those metrics? I'm pretty sure that was your follow-up question.
Exactly. Okay,
awesome. Let's continue.
Michael with much of information. That's huge responsibility now. Michael.
I would say like a biggest success with this company that I bring back the E2E on its own for this team, because when I came to this company, especially to this team, it was just ruined. The business leadership was like consistently complaining about the wrong data, and like I said, pretty much like 90% of the feature that we are working on has not been tested completely.
Michael, just if you don't mind, interrupt you. It's better to start with not with negative points about your previous employer, because I might think that probably you wouldn't like something in my company, and you might bring it further with other companies, or maybe on some other interviews. So maybe you don't want to start with negativity, talking about the employer, but maybe start with like something that probably needed development, needed enhancement, something like that. Try to keep it positive in this case.
Okay, I wasn't thinking that it's negative. Sorry. So the questions, once again, the success that I brought to this company, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, like I was saying, what do you mean, like by the negativity? Because like I'm just saying that the time didn't have the like resources at the time before I came to this company to maintain this like as it's supposed to be maintained. And
It's just about, it's not really about the information itself that you present. It's about the wording, how you phrase this all. Like something
okay.
needed improvement, something needed enhancement, and I stepped in and I brought
Okay.
my expertise and I helped them with this.
Okay.
But not like it wasn't good or it wasn't developed, but it just to rephrase it. And it already, for me, psychologically, it's like you bring some positivity. You talk about yourself only and your contribution, not about something, working bad.
Okay. All right then. Let me then bring the different example on this one.
Sure.
So I think one of the great examples is going to be the our security suite project, where we had to implement a couple different features. So I'm sorry, let's start again. I'm just trying to
take your time.
I'm just trying to understand, not understand, just to think like how to represent it.
You sometimes saying like, "Oh, it's a very good question. It's nice to think about it. Just to win." Oh, now you can take your time. We're not on the actual interview, but if you want to win time, you can use those common phrases. Just to fill in the pauses.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. Yeah. Then let's continue like with the previous one. So yeah, at the time I came to the company, I've seen that we needed some improvements, and I think that was like one of the reasons that I was hired like for this position as well. But at the same time, that we prepare existing defects, we brought something new to something new to it, such as this company. Sorry, it's quite hard to just put it together, because for example, like if when I was working like for the smaller company, it's easier to see your contribution like in the whole picture. But when you're working like for such a big company like a Spectrum, when you have like, I don't know, probably like 100 teams that working across like different features, it's pretty hard to see the contribution on the company level. But I would say like it's easier to see like on the team level or like on the product level, if it's gonna be fine.
That's you shouldn't. It's not exactly that you should be talking about the some numbers that you brought to the company overall as a whole company, but you can talk about something that you brought to the team, or maybe on some specific part of the project, some specific feature, anything that you can like summarize, something that you can measure, that you could oversee, that you've contributed to it, and explain to us how. And actually, when you talk about the questions, how did you do this, or how did you do that? Can you tell me about the time when you faced this or that? When we talk about challenges, some problems at work, or some problematic client or teammate, it's always good to use the STAR method. Have you heard of that?
No.
Situation, task, action, result. Maybe you want to check that one. Afterwards, situation, task, action, results. So first you describe the situation that you were facing. for example, you had some project and you contributed greatly, you could see that, or or something that you had some conflict, and still it's the successful story. You had some conflict and you resolved that issue. The situation, the description of the situation that was happening, then the task you had, either it was a manager who placed this task for you, or it was yourself who defined that I have this exact task to do on this project or to do on this issue. Then the action that you've taken, and always summarize what the result, like what result it brought. If you do not have the exact metrics, exact numbers, you can always come with this STAR method to describe the successfully resolved situation in the company.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Then I think it's going to be a pretty good example, especially like as a QA engineer, that should bring more quality and better maintenance for the product. I got a task to, and not like me, just the whole company got a task to switch the existing mobile app to the new, let's say, to the new engine. And what's happened after it, after we implement this, after we release this app to the App Store and Google Play, we are first, our product, especially like our feature, is first by maintenance in a App Store and a Google Play as well, which I think like it's a pretty big contribution from the QA part, and I would say it's a big contribution of the framework created by me.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that's already better. That's already a good start. Maybe I'll share with you later the STAR method that you could check on, and there's also the XYZ formula that you can use for describing the contribution, the success that you brought to the company or to the team or to the project. Well, we talk about XYZ formula, accomplished X by doing Z, which is measured by Y, for example. And you use this if you have some exact data, if you have some exact metrics that you could share, but mostly that's for resumes that you can use, or just give more details on the interview if you have the specific numbers. But if you have just the situation that you can describe, then I'd suggest using STAR method. STAR method for now is one of the most common ones when it comes to behavioral or culture fit interviews with the clients. I could share with you that.
Now, I need one honest comment from you guys. Tell me, how useful was it for you? Did you get any helpful information or not really? And if you do want to get help from Alina or from other HRs, we do have an option for you, and I'm going to leave a link right below this video where you can request a call with her for 30 minutes so she could interview you and help you to prepare your resume so it would stand out on the market. Now, I want to thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.